Hello guys, this is Vysh. So this is the fourth episode of the 2020 analysis, and everybody who is preparing for UPSC, let it be 2022 to 2030 also, for the next 10 years, this will be valid because questions are repeating from the previous year papers. So already 2016, 17, 18, 19 is already done, and 2020 also was done once when the UPSC results came that time, but that was not in order. It was in random order of 100 questions. So now in this playlist we are going to do in order. Okay, and then there is daily 25 questions discussion also going on for prelims, and then 2021 also most of the questions which came from ICIS test series is already discussed. Okay, CSAT also we have a playlist, and all these discussions which we do will be uh, helpful to you, but along with that you have to do a test series also. Okay, so if you are already enrolled to a good test series, you don't need ICIS test series, else you can get the subject wise PDF and you can learn it because prelims is nearing. Okay, so first question for today, that is the question number 31 from the 2020 paper. Okay, with reference to the cultural history of India, which one of the following is the correct description of the term paramitas? Okay, so these kind of things every year 2-3 terms is coming, and they are picking it up directly from either R.S. Sharma ancient history textbook or Satish Chandra medieval history textbook. Okay, and then there will be rarely it will be from the Nithin Singhania art and culture or the class 11th fine arts textbook. These are the only books you have to do. You don't have to do any toppers notes or any coaching notes. You can do basic textbooks and solve one test series. This will be easy for you. Okay, so here I'm not reading all these options and all, because everything you read, unless you know the fact, there is no point. Okay, so here if you see in our test series also, in art and culture set number 2 MCQ 37, here it is mentioned a list of rules contained in this Vinaya Pitaka governing the behavior of Buddhist monastics is. Okay, so that is answer is this one, but in that option we had given this also. Okay, paramita. So paramita, if you see, it is defining perfection or completeness. Okay, so if you, these are Pali terms, and it's based on the 10 perfections which is there in the Theravadin teachings of Buddhism. Okay, so here if you see in this there is an option perfection whose attainment led to the Bodhisattva path. So like this, if you have been doing basic test series, okay, like history, art and culture, we are giving I think only 2 to 4 tests. So that 200 to 400 MCQs, if you studied every possible term which is there in the textbook, standard textbook, we will be teaching you. Okay, so here perfections whose attainment led to the Bodhisattva path is the definition of the term paramitas. Now after 2-3 years again this will repeat, that time you should know. And another thing you have to do is these options, the earliest Dharma Sutra, the philosophical schools, this one, what is the one word, or what is it, this also might be definition of something, right? So what is that keyword, that also you have to go and find out, because that will be the next year's question. Okay, UPSC always asks about the wrong options of the previous year question as the right answer of the next year's question. Okay, so please find out what are the words for this. In the context of Indian history, the Rakhma case of 1884 revolved around what? Okay, so here if you see, one is education, one is age of consent, and one is restitution of conjugal rights. So this again, that time 2017-18 time, the Google, the Google will have that doodle thing, the picture of different personalities for different reasons when their birth anniversary comes or something. So like that, this person was in news. Okay, a Google doodle was there dedicated to this person. Okay, Rakhma Raut was recently in news. She was known for her efforts regarding. So this is in our history full test MCQ 91. So here if you see, it is child marriage. Okay. And here if you see, there is an act ultimately contributed to the Age of Consent Act 1891. And there was a famous case also, Dadaji Bikhaji versus Rukumbai case. So there, this child bride related all the issues. Okay, age of consent related all the issues. This was discussed. So it has nothing to do with education. Okay, so if you eliminate education itself, you will get the answer here directly. Okay, this one you eliminate, and you will get the answer as 2 and 3. For that basic knowledge about that person you had to know. Okay, so here again, if you want to know what is the meaning of this restitution of conjugal rights, that also in Google it will be there. In English law, it is something related to the matrimonial cases, the divorce cases and all. Okay, so the sexual rights, the privileges implied by and involved in the marriage relationship. Okay, so this is the one which deals with conjugal rights. So the age of consent, the marriage, the sexual rights, all these things comes under this. So answer is 2 and 3. Okay, so we had taught you only this particular thing. Okay, but with the options, because education has nothing to do with this person, you can eliminate that and come to the answer. So this is how you solve the questions, and this is in history full test. That's why I'm telling, once you enroll, these are static tests. So once you study, every year it will be useful. Okay, next year anything, again little bit detailed way, this person will be again asked. Okay, now, indigo cultivation in India declined by the beginning of the 20th century because, okay, indigo cultivation, why did it decline? So this is a very direct, easy spectrum question. Okay, so if you see here, emergence of Mahatma Gandhi, and then the Champaran Satyagraha. There, the Tinkatya system was there in Champaran, Bihar, and this Rajkumar Shukla only invited Gandhi towards there, and he was joined by Rajendra Prasad, Kripalani, Desai. These are the next year's potential questions. Okay, so here, if you see Indigo, what was the problem there? The German synthetics started replacing Indigo. Okay, so here, if you see, its unprofitability in the world market because of new inventions. So that new invention is German synthetic. So because of that, Indigo was having unprofitability, and that is why it declined in the beginning of the 20th century, that is 1917. Okay, beginning of the 20th century. So this is a direct spectrum question, and you were expected to do it. If you are not doing these kind of basic questions, then you will not reach the cutoff marks. Okay, 2 marks from these kind of simple questions you have to gain. So this, again, if you Google about the same thing, you will find details like, faced by high prices charged by the British traders for indigo dye, German chemists had already started their search for making synthetic indigo, and this person, Adolf Bayer, succeeded in synthesizing it in 1882. So this was followed by research by other German chemists, namely this Fletcher and Carl Humann. Okay, so these are extra information I'm giving you, and the synthetic dye was much cheaper and blew the final blow to the natural plant produced indigo dye, and indigo crop became a part of history. Okay, so most of the indigo dye used world over is made synthetically. Okay, now, so this is what happened when the new invention from this German scientist came, or chemist came. Okay, now question number 34. Wellesley established the Fort William College at Calcutta because. So this question, that time when it came, it was controversial between two options, because many coaching institutes were telling two options. Okay, one is like he wanted to revive the interest in Oriental learning in India, and then he wanted to train British civilians for administrative purposes in India. Okay, so these two options were told. So that time itself we told you it is to train. Okay, this college was set up to train the British civilians. Okay, so the other two are just made up options, but go and find out who is this William Carey and what is the things. And board of directors will never tell such a thing like go and train in Indian languages or Indian administration. All they will never tell such things. So if you see here, this is a history spectrum question. Okay, test number 3. So in 1800, Governor General Wellesley established the College of Fort William. Okay, so here again find out the first name of Wellesley. Okay, there are two. One is Richard Wellesley and one is Arthur Wellesley, and that also was a UPSC question in 2020. So you have to know correctly which Wellesley it was. Okay, now this if you see, he wanted people to understand the Indian culture, so that Indian administration can be done properly, and College of Fort William became the effective vehicle for British Orientalism in India. So it became an effective vehicle. Okay, eventually, but that is not why it was set up. It was set up actually for the training purpose, so that, see, as a training center in Calcutta for the company servants, so that they can do better administration. Okay, so administrative purpose, better training. This is the answer for this. Okay, 34D, this is the official answer key of UPSC also. So whoever told this, that is wrong. Okay, now with reference to the history of India, Ullugulan or the Great Tumult is the description of which of the following event. So this again is direct spectrum question. Okay, so Birsa Munda and the revolt always have been in news for several reasons. Even now it keeps coming in the news for different reasons which happens in the state there. So here if you see which of the following are true about Birsa Munda, so entire history about him we have done it in multiple MCQs. This is in a full test number 4, the mixed subject test. So here also we have told like this is this Munda Ulugran. Okay, that term is here, and Dikus means outsider. So these are all taken from the textbook only. Okay, this Dharti Abba or the Earth Father. So like this, there are many terms which UPSC can again ask. Okay, Mundas had followed this Khoon Kati system of joint land holding. Okay, so this can be again. So this British replaced it with the Zamindari system. So this has a possible future questions. Okay, now again, which famous revolt was also called as Ulugulan movement? This is the direct question which UPSC asked from Vysh IAS test series, which is picked up from Spectrum only. Okay, so we are not inventing any question, we are just following standard textbooks. Okay, so here if you see, Munda rebellion is one of the prominent 19th century tribal rebellion, and it's the timeline is given here, and Great Tumult, this is also mentioned here. So this two terms is directly picked up from Spectrum textbook. Okay, with reference to the scholars or literatures of ancient India, consider the following statement. This is again very direct question. They're just asking 3 people who are they associated, meaning the timeline they want to know. Okay, Panini, Amrasimha and Kalidasa. So actually if you see, the Amrasimha, Kalidasa and all are part of Chandragupta II's Navratna kind of thing. Okay, like Akbar had the Navratna, Chandragupta II also had the Navratna. Okay, and then another one king had, I think Shivaji and all had 8 people in their court. Okay, Ashtadigaja and something they call that. So like that, everybody has some 8 to 9 court important people. Okay, one musician will be there, one poet will be there, or one dancer will be there. So like that, some people will be there who are very, very important to those kings. So in Chandragupta kingdom, they had 9 important people. So Amrasimha and Kalidasa both are part of that. Okay. So that basic thing, if you knew, you could eliminate 2. Okay, because he is not in the time of Harshavardhana who came later. Okay. So if you eliminate 2, you will directly get the answer as 3 only. And 1 is also that for that reason wrong. And 1 because the timeline itself is wrong. Okay. Pushyamitra Sunga and all, it came after the Mauryan. Okay, when the Mauryan downfall happened, after that he came. But Panini's timeline was before that. So if you see here, this is our R.S. Sharma, chapter 20, Gupta's when I taught you, that screenshot of my lecture. Okay, so here if you see Amarakosa by Amrasimha, he is in the court of Chandragupta II. Again, if you see in this 19th chapter, Gupta's the Rise, there also it is mentioned, the court of Chandragupta II at Ujjain had people like Kalidasa and Amrasimha. So direct R.S. Sharma free lecture, if you had watched, you could have solved it. Now if you see, this is our revision chart which we give to our students. So in case you didn't watch lecture also, final revision time, if you see this, you can get here Amrasimha, Dhanvantri, Harisena, Kalidasa, and this Kahapanaka, Sanku, Varahamihira, Vararuchi, and Vetal Bhatta. So see, they are all different things. One is physician, one is poet, one is astrologer, architect, grammarian, then this magician. Okay, so this and all in future UPSC can again ask. So this, please make a note. My students will have the chart anyway. So this way you could have got these 2. Now about the other 2 personalities, Panini, if you see, about him also there are numerous questions even in our ancient history test series. So for future learning, I'm giving you in one screenshot. So if you see, he is born as this Pushkalavati, and 4th century BC is his timeline, and grammar, linguistic, Indian this thing. Try to find out what is the famous book which Panini wrote. Okay, that is a UPSC question. There is a book which he wrote on grammar. Okay, then parents and this siblings. This is the Panini's timeline, 6th and 4th century BC. Okay, 400 BC. Pushyamitra Sunga will be, if you see, 149 BC. Okay, so it is much later than Panini. So this basic thing, please study. About Pushyamitra Sunga, already question came, because if you see, his son is Agnimitra. So Malavika Agnimitra is a book about which 2017 UPSC question came. So each year they are taking one person. So next year maybe the question will come about Vasumitra. Okay. Now, in the context of recent advances in human reproductive technology, pro-nuclear transfer is used for. Now, this is a 2020 question. In 2021, this is a very direct question where ABCD, you just have to tell what is it related to. But in 2021, if you see, that same thing went one step ahead. Okay, and they asked the full detailing of that process. Okay, of that thing. Here, the answer, if you see, is prevention of mitochondrial diseases in offspring. Okay, meaning from the mother, the defective mitochondria will go to the child, and child will get a disease. So their pro-nuclear transfer can be used to solve it. Okay, the nuclear and mitochondrial repair, that method can be used. So it's just asking related to, but here that full process they asked you in 2021. So each year the question is becoming difficult, and they are, UPSC is expecting you to go and study. When they ask you a question on this, you have to go and study what is this, because that is what is asked in the next year. Okay, this passing on mitochondrial diseases from parent to child can be prevented by mitochondrial replacement therapy. Okay, that they are telling here itself, but either before or after the in vitro fertilization. Okay, so if you see here about in vitro also, sperm producing also, stem cells, everything they asked an option. You should go and study about each of these things. Okay, and a child inherits mitochondrial diseases entirely from mother and not from father. Okay, so this second is true. Okay, and this first is also true actually, but the answer key has not yet come. So how these two are true, that I've already explained in the science questions of 2021 video. Simply search Vysh 2021 prelims analysis. You will get a video. Okay, or come and ask me in WhatsApp. I'll give you the link. So you can see how I solved that question. Now we will discuss only 2020 here. So as I told, the answer is this one, and this was there in our test series when UK had this 3-parent baby concept. Their mitochondrial replacement therapy we discussed in science and tech test number 3. So here pro-nuclear transfer technique is used. Okay, so that if you see, reduce the risk of mothers transmitting disease to their children. Okay, so preventing of mitochondrial diseases to the offspring. Okay, so this is the way you have to solve. Just basic test series and basic books are allowing you to solve each and every question. Okay, you don't need any other extra knowledge. Okay, now this is a question which UPSC would have ideally deleted. Okay, because of the mismatch. The answer key they have given is 1, 3 and 4. But every coaching institute, including Vysh, when we discussed, we told the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but now when the final answer key came, it is 1, 3 and 4. So this is actually debatable. Okay, So what is the present state of, with the present state of development, artificial intelligence can effectively do which of the following. Maybe because this effectively word, they are telling that answer. Okay. So bringing down electricity consumption industrial unit, creating meaningful short stories and songs, disease diagnosis, text to speech conversion, wireless transmission of electric energy. Okay. So according to them, this is correct, this is correct, and this is correct. Okay. But this meaningful story they are telling wrong, and wireless transmission they are wrong. So wireless transmission still maybe it can be wrong, because there are ways in which AI, artificial intelligence, can regulate this, but directly AI being used for wireless transmission is not yet a working or proven technology. Okay, so this may be a reason it can be the answer. You eliminate 5 everywhere and you get the answer as 1, 3, 4. Okay, but problem here is then when you make 5 wrong, 2 also gets wrong. But 2, creating meaningful short stories and songs, if you Google it, there are news items where this is possible by artificial intelligence. Okay, so why this is wrong, we have no idea. Okay, maybe UPSC did a mistake, or don't know. Okay, or maybe because it's effectively. Okay, maybe effectively it cannot be done. Okay, any one reason 2 and 5 is told to be wrong by UPSC. And in Vysh's test series, in multiple places, we see this full test 2. Here we are telling like this can be used for forecasting, for scheduling, for the drug-like compound, the disease diagnosis, higher selectivity in medical field, in engineering field, telecom, internet, video conference, machine learning, data analytics. So wherever it could be used, education, healthcare, we have done multiple test series, multiple questions. So, and these are the questions where usually everyone will give answer as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, but due to some reason, as I told, 2 and 5 is told as wrong by UPSC. So you also have to by heart the same thing. Okay, and just like with the present state of development, maybe in future after 2, 3 years, maybe all this will be possible. So that also you have to look out for. So this is the answer 1, 3, and 4. Now with reference to visible light communication technology, which of the following statements are correct? So this again is a repetition I will tell. Okay, because UPSC once asked a question on Li-Fi technology. Okay, 2 years back before this only UPSC asked. So you should at least know that Li-Fi technology, the light thing, is falling under this only. Okay, visible light communication. So that if you know, you will know that visible light communication or Li-Fi technology is not for long range, it is for short range. Okay, okay, it cannot be working for long. It's like Bluetooth and above, little bit more than Bluetooth. So this is known as long range technology. This is wrong. So if you eliminate 2 and eliminate 2, you get the answer as 1, 3, 4. This is the only thing UPSC was testing. Okay, because it was a previous year question about Li-Fi. Okay, but many people did not know that Li-Fi and visible light communication are related to each other. Okay, so now details, if you see, this is a running wireless communication system. It is effective for short range only. That is the main disadvantage. And this working range, if you see, it is correct only 400 to 800 terahertz or 780 to 375 nanometer. Okay, 780 to 375 nanometer is true. Then if you see, it is a subset of optical wireless communication technology. It is for short range communication, only for short distances. Because if you see Bluetooth, compared to Bluetooth, it works much faster. Okay, so it can transmit large amount of data faster than Bluetooth. That is true. Okay, because Bluetooth will be using the radio waves kind of thing, but the other one is using light waves, and light, you know, it is faster than sound. Okay, so that is the thing. So now if you see again, the last one, it is immune to interference from electromagnetic sources. Okay, these are all googled information. Okay, so this also is true. So I'm showing you how each statement is true. So 1, 3, 4 is true, but 2 because of the short range, and that is the only thing UPSC was expecting you to know. Okay, they did not expect you to know all the other things. So this way elimination will always work if you are a little bit careful on the statements. Okay, now with reference to blockchain technology, consider the following statement. So about blockchain, I think at least 3 times in the last 5 years questions has come, and again question will come in the next year also. Okay, so please prepare maximum on that, because for mains also it's important topic. So it is a public ledger that everyone can inspect, but which no single user controls. Okay, now the structure and design of blockchain is such that all the data in it are about cryptocurrency only. Okay, this I know most of you will mark it as negative only. Okay, but that is common sense. Blockchain is just a technology. It's not like it's designed for only cryptocurrency. So applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without anybody's permission. So first you have to do is eliminate 2. Okay, eliminate 2 and you are stuck with 1 only or 2 only. So you have to choose the best one. So if you see here, it is a public, sorry, you have to eliminate this. Okay, this and this. So 1 only, and 1 and 3 only. Okay, this is the options left. So that means 1 automatically becomes true. No single user control, because it's a decentralized system. Okay, now third one, applications that depend on basic features of blockchain can be developed without any without anybody's permission. This is obviously true because the bitcoins and all these things are obviously made without anybody's permission. Okay, nobody has asked anything or nobody took any RBI's permission. Nothing was taken. Okay, so answer will be 1 and 3 only. So you have to just read it. If you know the basics only, you can solve it. So the basic information from Google I have put it: decentralized, distributed, and oftentimes a public digital ledger, and participants to verify and audit transaction independently, managed autonomously, mass collaboration powered by collective self-interest, open, permissionless, or public blockchain network. These are all the keywords which you get from Google. Okay, and without the approval or trust of others. Okay, because no need of any permission. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and their wallet have been created by computer experts without taking any permission. So this much information I'm giving you so that next time any question comes about any of this, I can show this itself as the proof that we have taught you. Okay, so please make a note of all these things. So the next video will be obviously for the next 10 MCQs. But I'm telling you, if you are a serious aspirant, please try to get the current affairs pack or the science and geography pack, because from this questions comes directly every year. Okay, then the spectrum pack. Okay, from this and all questions are coming every year and you can reuse it every year in case you fail the exam also. Next year, these are all static portions. Again, you can use them. Okay, so please WhatsApp us for enrollment and take this exam seriously. Next episode will be MCQ 41 to 50.